Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ikechukwu. On this tutorial, we'll be looking at what is HTML and what are the tags or elements of an HTML, how is it being rendered on the web and also on the browser. Okay, an HTML is an hypertext markup language, a standardized system for tagging text files to achieve fonts, color graphics and hyperlinks effect on World Wide Web page, which is www. And also HTML is a language used in structuring web pages to render it on the website. Okay, here is what we'll be building on this video using just a simple HTML. Okay, there is not much on this, but if you can have this knowledge as a beginner, then once you begin to follow the videos with this after now, then you can count yourself as one of the experts. But yet you are not yet an expert once you are done with this video, because there is a lot of things that needed to be done here in HTML. Okay, now without wasting much of our time, let us jump into the first tag of an HTML. Okay guys, there are a lot of editors that can be used to code an HTML, but we'll be starting with just a simple notepad. Notepad is one of the applications that comes with a window operating system. Then you can also get it on your operating system. Okay, now like we said earlier, there are tags, basic tags used in HTML, and one of the first tags for writing an HTML code is this. It's simply HTML. That is the first tag. With this tag, you are telling the browser that what I am coding here right now, what I'm about to do now, is an HTML file. So handle it as a HTML file, not just an ordinary text, so it will be rendered anyhow on the browser. Okay, the first tag is HTML. If you observe, you see that I opened the HTML here. This is greater using this angle sign here, and also I closed it here. Okay, now I'm trying to open another one, which is the head. Head is the head tag for an HTML, and this head has some information to tell the browser this is the head of the web page, and anything on this head is going to be displayed here at the top here. Like we have what is an HTML Google search, the same thing we are going to have here. Okay, I'm going to save this. I'm going to test it for you to see. Now this is the title. This title is going to give us exactly what is an HTML and the rest of them here. Let's try something that way and let's see how it's going to look like. Okay, title. Okay, I'm going to close it also. Always remember to close your tag once you open the tag. Alright, let's do something like similar to that. What is an HTML Google, I'm trying to spell Google wrongly. Okay, Google search. Okay, let us test this and see how it's going to look like. Alright guys, I'm trying to save it and it pop up and say where do I want to save it, how do I want it to look like. I'm going to go to my desktop. Okay, that's one of the best practice. You go to your desktop or anywhere you feel like it's okay, convenient for you to save. Then, but for me, I'm going to save it on the desktop. So on the desktop, I'm going to create a folder. Okay guys, on this desktop, I'm going to create a folder. This is one of the best practices. Then you create a folder, give it any name you like. In my own case, I'm going to call it a website. Okay, you can call it any name you wish to call it, so that you can be able to remember. Okay, it told me that there is a folder existing that is called the website, so I'm going to give it another name. I'm going to give it web page. Let's see, there's another one existing. Okay, the web page, and this web page I'm going to save my file, HTML file. So I'm going to call it my first page, okay, .html. Okay, remember, if you have a question, you can also drop it in the comment, so I will answer it as best I can do. Okay, so remember to put the .html, which is the extension name for the file, HTML file. So I'm going to click on save. So I'm going to go back to my web page folder. Then I'm going to open it, and this is my file here. So I'm going to draw it, then open it here on the web, on the browser, and you can see what is an HTML, the same what is an HTML, then dash Google search. The only difference is this logo. In the future, I'm going to teach you how to add this logo to it, but now what we have here is what is an HTML Google search. You see, that's the title. So let's continue with what we are about doing here. Okay, now the next tag we'll be adding here, which is one of the basic tags, is the body. Okay, with this body, this is where every other tags, every other information that you want to be displayed on this body, on this browser here, you want to be displayed on this browser, that is where it's going to be. This is the body. So I'm going to show you what I mean in the seconds. Okay, I'll close the tag again. All right, let's save it. Let's come here and refresh our browser. Nothing will happen because we've not added anything, but there's something you are going to do. Let's use right click on your mouse, then, or you can use Ctrl+Shift+I or Ctrl+Shift+C to open this terminal from here. Okay, this terminal now, watch, there is something. This is our code. This is the code we have written so far. Then if you see, as I'm hovering it, the browser is changing color. Now look at the HTML now. The HTML covers every part of the browser. Then the head, there's nothing is happening here. But on the body, this is what I want to show you. On the body, it covers the body, but leaving some padding at the top, meaning that every information that I want to show here on the browser should be on the body. Do you get logic? Okay, hopefully you do. All right, let's go back to our code. Like I told you before, there are a lot of text editor you can use, but for simplicity and for your basic knowledge, we are using the Notepad. To me, it's one of the simplest Notepad. It's not too complex. There is nothing there fancy, just you and your code, and you are typing. Okay, let's do something like this. Okay, like this is what we've done so far, and then let's do something like this here. There is a tag that is used to make this blog post for a dog, makes it to look bolder. So I'm going to tell you what it is, and what it is this. In HTML, we have a lot of tags from H1, ranging from H1 to H6, and the meaning is this. The meaning is heading 1. When you open, you close it. Okay, now we are going to, okay, let me put the text in it. Excuse me. Okay, let's do something like Google search. So you can type anything you feel like typing, but in my own case, I'm using a Google search. So I'm going to copy and paste it a couple more times, up to 6 times. Okay, it's up to 6 now. So I'm going to push it to the center. This pushing I'm doing doesn't really have anything it's doing on the browser. It's just to make my code readable. Okay, so I'm going to change this to 2. I'm going to change this to 2. Then I'm going to change this to 3. Then I'm going to change this to 3 also. Then I'm going to change it to 4. Okay, it's just I'm adding the code. I'm also closing the tag. So once I put the tags, I close it. Okay, 5, then 6, which is the last one. There is nothing like 7 in the header. It just 6. Okay, let's save it and see what happens here. Okay, let's save it. Okay, let's refresh our browser. Oh, you see, so on this web page, you can see what we used here was heading 1. That was what we used here. So that's what we are going to. I'm going to copy this text, blog post for a dog. Okay, so I'm going to go to my, so I'm going to put it, so I'm going to change this one to blog post as a dog, blog post for a dog. Okay, all right, so that's it. Okay, the next thing we want to do is this lorem ipsum. We just write in, and you can type anything you feel like typing, but in my own case, this is what I wanted to use. So I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to come here. Okay, now we haven't saved. Let us save and then refresh. You see what will happen? Boom, blog post for a dog. All right. Okay, there is another tag that is called, paragraph, and it's P for paragraph. Okay, so this paragraph is actually a paragraph, because what it does is this: it's going to add a paragraph to the web page. It's going to start it on a new line. If you observe it here, there was a paragraph here. It started it on a new page. It left this space and started it here. That is what a paragraph does. And look at another paragraph he added and it started here. So that is what a paragraph does. All right, so on this paragraph, I'm going to copy it again. Okay, that what we have here. Okay, I'm going to copy it again. And paste it down here. So let's see. Okay, all right, let's save it and see what we have so far. Let's refresh our browser. Wow, awesome. Okay, what's the next thing we are going to add? An image. All right, let's add an image to our HTML file. Okay, our web page. Let's add an image. To add an image, this is what you do: you open a tab called img. Img stands for image. Then you have src. Okay, and this is the code to add an image. Yes, there's another thing we are going to do on the folder. We are using earlier, which is the web page we created. Here I'm going to create another folder inside the folder we created initially. So I'm going to call this folder assets. This is where our images is going to be. Our images and some other documents will be. Okay, so I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to call this folder img, which is image. Just for a best practice, that is what it means, for best practice. Okay, so on this image folder I created, I'm going to copy the image of the dog from the website I designed earlier. So this is the image of the dog. I'm going to copy it. Then you can as well get any image you like for yourself and then add to it, so you can follow up in the tutorial. So I'm going to copy the name because that's what I'm going to use to reference it to the browser. Okay, so I'm going to, the folder we created was the folder that we are referencing, that we have our document is web page. Okay, we created an assets. An assets was the folder. We have our image / img / the image, which is what I copied earlier, .jpg. That is the extension file. How will you know the extension file of your image? This is how to know. You get it from here. You do go to the properties, then you check. You see it's JPEG, and JPEG is also known as that's j.jpg. Do you see it here? .jpg. Okay, hopefully you can see from there. All right, so okay, let's move on. So there is what is called an ALT alternative. In case the image doesn't show on the web page, include it. So I'm going to reference the picture from where I got the picture from, which is from Splash. So on Splash, so I'm going to paste it there on Splash image. Okay, let's save it and then see what we have. the image is going to be very big because you have not yet, boom, very big. So let's reduce the size. Okay, let's do it this way. We'll reduce the size by doing it this way. Width, the width of the image should be, let's use 300. 300. Then the height should be 250. 250. Okay, let's save it. You can use Ctrl S on the PC. Ctrl S to save. Okay, let's refresh and see what we have. Wow, that's it. The image has been resized. So the next thing we are going to add is this. We are going to add this lorem ipso with a paragraph underneath. So we are going to copy it. You already have it. So you copy. Okay, you paste. This is just a basic introduction on HTML. Okay, so let's save it again and let's see what we have. Wow. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to add this. And looking at it from far, you know, I told you about H1, H2, H3 and so on. So here is H1, then here is H2. So let's copy it. Let's add it H2 underneath the paragraph we just pasted earlier. Let's do H2. H2. Okay. H2. Pardon me, I closed it before I even opened it. Okay, H2. Let's save and refresh again and see what we have. Boom, that's what we have. Now we have 3 paragraph underneath. So let's add the 3 paragraph underneath. Okay, let's copy. Okay, let's copy it and paste 3 more times, 1 more time. Okay, let us save it, Ctrl S, and let's refresh. Boom, look at this and this. The only difference is this is centered and we are yet to center this. Let's center it. Okay, there is another tag. This tag is called center. With this tag you can center, and then remember to also close it here because we want to center everything. So we'll do something like this. We close it, center. Okay, this wrong spread. Center. Okay, let me push this to the middle. Okay, so that it can be readable for everyone. Okay, we are almost done. Okay, all right, let's push this one outside. Okay, let's save and let's refresh. Boom, exactly what we have here. You can't see any difference. Exactly what we have. Okay, that's it. In the next video we'll be adding a little bit CSS and some other additional HTML features will be added in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.